Probably. Yeah. I don't know about all that, man. Yeah, I don't know about all that. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make a hill of beans difference out here. I mean, thank God we got, Mark Garcia. At least we got somebody in there with half a brain cell. And Newsom, holy shit. You can't just make this shit up. But you must be getting hit pretty hard. I mean, being retired and all, man. God damn. I think you'd have to be like Fetterman in order to vote for a Democrat right now. You'd have to be some abilities lost in the brain there to pull that lever.
If I ever got to one of them talk shows, that would be one of my things. How many tens of millions of old folks that were just above the line and feeling like they were sitting on a high cotton, and now they're barely eating food, can't put a tire on their car, and they're most likely, the blunt end of my question is, how many elder Americans in low income are losing their homes that they've, need in their latter days, man. So.
Well, they're not going to solve it, man. I think we're on the same page. We're preaching to the choir. Just sit back and enjoy the show. Yeah, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to give myself an icy cold Diet Coke and see what else rolls in the band in there. But it definitely sounded good, man. Yeah, I'm going to try to steer clear of politics best I can. Let's see if that can happen. I don't know if I can, but I'll try. I'm going to grab a cold, icy cold air Diet Coke here on this Friday night. I guess we pillow fights, but ain't nobody fighting, so I'll steer clear of that too.
That's a good thing. Hey, cold beverage is better. Hey, I'll talk to you later.
Oh. Maverick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to leave all weekend long. I got the live stream going there. So if you ever want to check your audio, go back to it. It all gets recorded there. So You can hear, later on. You check out your audio or whatever. I'll do radio checks.
What is it on eBay? YouTube?
Yeah, you got to buy it. You're going to be the highest bidder.
Oh, man. you on YouTube and I got to pay for it?
Shit, I don't have to pay for it, man. The dongle was $100. The computer was free. The software was free. And the YouTube's free. So, to me, the price was right.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I got something over here that lets me know how my audio sounds. So that's why it's sounding so good now. And I tuned it before I keyed it up.
It does sound pretty damn good.
I appreciate it. I'm not trying to copy off you or nothing like that. I just wanted to put this AM XLR microphone in line there.
Nothing like balanced audio, that's for sure. It takes a little bit more doing, but once you get it in there, you have a hell of a lot less problems.
Oh yeah, it's something to get it right, especially when you're on the doggone Yakima.
It sounds like it matched up pretty good to what you got there. Would you wire it yourself, or did you buy something?
No, I had somebody, the person that I got it from, she wired it up for me. So, when it comes from a radio station, it has a whole entire different plug on it.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's pretty much what I got here. It's everything here is pretty much, you could slip it on a typical commercial AM radio station, from the vacuum mixer to the mic. Typically they wouldn't use this on a radio, but they could. It's more geared for it than the hell I'm doing with it. But certainly does help a wee bit, I guess. But you can tell, man. You can tell the effort that you put in.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I had it on today. I was telling a couple of guys back east with it. They said it was loud and proud. I like that. I appreciate it.
And it is loud and proud and not distorted and, that crazy, I don't know what you call it, the screeching nails on the chalkboard audio.
Oh, no. It's been taken care of very well. The microphone is old, man. It's a very old microphone. And I made sure that when I got it, I cleaned it up and make sure it's good. You've seen those AM radio stations, those microphones that people use on podcasts. It's nothing like that. You can put a boom mic on it and everything like that. It's all good.
I know. I've seen all that, seeing all that stuff. And, I got by with some real cheap stuff. I know most people do these days, and it sounds real good. A lot of that stuff sounds real good, man. I'm more and more impressed every day what people are doing, man, with nickel and dime shit. So how'd you do with how's that going with the antenna, man? You're talking about sticking something new up. Is that what you're running now?
Oh yeah, this is a 2-element antenna that I built. It gets up pretty decent in DXLAN than the other one that I had. It's Zeppelin, 2-element Zeppelin. I got it facing east, and the billboard covers the whole United States going to the East Coast.
All right. So you're running them at separate times, or you're running them at the same time?
I'm running them at the same time.
10-4, splitting it up, Rajo. That's pretty cool.
It's Zeppelin has been out for a long time, since the 30s. So I felt like getting my book of wiring antennas and built this bad boy. And it's working. SWR as flat as can be. Can't get no better than that.
Yeah, That's just an end-fed antenna, right?
Oh no, this is setting fed.
I thought the Zeppelins were end-fed. All right. Yeah, I don't know too much about it, other than that I know they used to use them on the airships. That's it.
You can have them end fed, center fed. Either way, they're gonna do almost basically the same thing.
Why'd you go with a Zeppelin?
I went with a Zeppelin because it has a better capture ratio and it hits the ionosphere a lot better than what the other one was doing. And this one talks better when conditions is out there.
So it had a lower angle of radiation, or had the angle of radiation that you desired to make it work. Yeah, 10-4. Well, I zip through when I'm stuck in traffic. I'll listen to, Slick Rick's Watergates and a few others there. And you're definitely making it up there on the gates.
Oh, yeah. This one is, 445. I hear myself beep on his. When conditions is good, I give him almost, in the dBs, past 30, in the dBs when conditions is good. So I'm up there. I want to get to the point where I'm past the dBs and I'm working on it.
Yeah, you get the typical CB way up there in the cherry patch, huh?
As they say, 766 to my mentor. I want to put it past the beat, and then I'll be good to go. I told you about that a while back.
You get it past the red, man. You get it into the black or into the white. You just watch it with you can't bury the needle any deeper into the corner. I know it's not 60 dBs. That's what they say on some of them meters, but it does definitely feel good when you get it that far in the corner. Mother Nature is agreeing with your setup a little bit.
Oh yeah, she's agreeing with it, so I want to get it where it hits the corner and doesn't move until I get off the seat.
Yeah, for
They say 131 a work in progress.
This hobby, that's all it is a work in progress, man. It's never complete. You're never done. It's always something. Once you think you're done, there's always something else, man. Something else pops and fizzles and breaks. And, I got to put something else on the bench there. But, yeah, that's the beauty of it. You got to force yourself to learn this stuff, and 3/4 of the fun of any hobby is figuring it out. Once everything works perfectly, I guess that's a fun part too. But I guess it's cool when everything works. But figuring it out doesn't suck either.
That's it, yeah. I'm almost there. Out of 100, you can see I'm at least about 99.8.
The audio, I'd say, yeah, you are. Yeah, with the audio, you are. And we'll see how you do with the gates, man. That Mother Nature, that was hitting pretty hard during the week. And I heard a lot of old timers I haven't heard in a while, man. A whole bunch of there from San Diego and Orange County were jumping on board there too. So I heard that. I was like, screw it. I got to get out here this weekend. I got to make a little noise, man, just for old time's sake.
Yeah, conditions have been good. I haven't been turning on the glass all that much, like I was telling you earlier. Mother Nature is, eczema is bothering me. Mother Nature has been doing her thing, man. A lot of people is firing down. I'm like testing Mother Nature out, and I'm like, oh shoot, I don't got to use it if I don't have to.
Yeah, that's it. Especially now with the electric rates the way they are right now. It's not the best idea.
You guys talk about that. I've been talking to Europe on 75, 85 watts, getting reports of 5.9. So, yeah, you don't need to put your foot on the pedal anymore.
And 4. Well, I'm guessing that's up around Triple Nickel, up in that neck of the woods, right? Upper side band.
No, they're coming in on channel 38, which is precarious, but 39, 40, all the in-between divisions, all the way up to triple nickel. I even been trying to get away from the corned beef hash. I've been up to like 27, 7. There's guys talking up there. Also been investigating the lower 40 below channel 1, and I'm loving talking on AM, you know, on less than 100 watts to Florida. Crystal clear, clear as a bell. You know, hardly anybody down there.
Yeah, now that was always a gem. That was my favorite back in the 90s. There's a calling channel was a 26285 upper sideband. It's kind of like the other triple nickel, but far less Americans on it. And yeah, when I used to go to work and I'd be going up to school or whatever, I used to be just sitting out there. I had my antenna tuned for the lower portion there, and a lot of sideband. And even back then in the 90s, you know, I had a HR 2510 in my truck there, and you know, ran a lot of FM there. And I got QSL cards, stacks of them, and, you know, Italy and France and Poland and whatnot. Every morning, man, it was just rolling in real good. And got lucky a few times, man. I even got across the country. I heard Australia, I remember, a few times on the East Coast, but I never could get back to them on my mobile. But I was able to do it from my Mud Duck ground plane station, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, I hear you. I'm kind of over that though, man. That's just sideband. That's cool, I guess, man. You know, European, you can get all that stuff. It'd be kind of cool to hear them on AM. I know some people have been doing that, especially on the East Coast. I don't know if anybody's got a gate of doing them here on the West Coast on AM or FM.
FM does not mix in 11 meters.
Contraire Mo Frere, man, it sounds awesome. It sounds absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, not when it's knocking out the frequency it on and in the adjacent frequencies left and right.
It really shouldn't. I mean, it's a little bit wider than the standard AM frequency, but you know, you know, if you get over a certain signal strength level, you know, the audio is unmistakably good. You know, I've used it. I've used it between my mobile and Europe on multiple occasions, and you know, flunk all the 10 meters repeaters, did all that crap after a while. But it was kind of cool just to run it, you know, just in simplex there, and get a little DX. I know there's some guys, I forget what the channel, I think it's 26815 or something like that. A bunch of guys are doing it down there.
Yeah, Roger, on the ban list, that is what people are doing is they're over amping themselves, and then it really burns. But it's the fact that you don't have room to flip a burger on sideband frequencies here, let alone the AM. Without, you know, somebody's in the way, flat. So yeah, they've added that. Now you got guys talking under the sidebanders, and it just interrupts everything. I'll shut up.
Yeah, it sounds like CB to me.
I'm guilty of porking 900 watts FM talking to Florida and New York, and you wouldn't believe the amount of people that came in to complain.
It all depends on the frequency you're talking on. Obviously, I wouldn't be doing that on a call channel, but on some obscure frequency that nobody, you know, you don't hear anybody talking on, you know, above maybe channel 60 or something below channel 1. I don't see any harm in that. You know, it's just, you know, it's not like they're supposed to be there either. guess unless they're from Europe.
It's so crowded. You need to come out and do that there. Even triple nickel's being inhibited by fanaticism. It's not like every once in a while people say, let's go and squat on the call channel.
Yeah, they had knuckleheads on there back in. Like I said, on the lower frequencies, 26 to 85. Yeah, never had too much of a problem down there. But for the most of the time, when the DX was rolling back then, I didn't have megawatts of power. It's the biggest thing I ever ran back then was a 667. And like I said, man, I made it from everywhere. New Jersey, I made it on sideband to Antarctica, which I got a nice QSL car from a bunch of Russians. Almost everything in Europe. South Africa, a whole bunch of African countries was cool, and a whole bunch of Australians. So, not a whole lot of power, but toward the end I had a little 4-element beam, which was all right. But most of the contacts just on a simple quarter wave ground plane.
Mother Nature doing her job.
Sir, yes, sir. Oh yeah. Foul.
It is good in the evenings after the long path dissipates there. Australia comes in sometimes till 9, maybe 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I'm going to twist my beam. I have to twist my beam to the west tomorrow to see what I hear. I hear the Good Time Gang down there on whatever the hell it is, Channel 11, man, rocking and rolling. How they're having a good time. That always used to suck me in for hours.
No, I can't compete down there. So I don't play down there. That's in your ballpark.
All right. I'll do what this little mud duck station can do.
Yeah, I mean, I right now, if I really yell into the microphone, I'm getting 700 RPM out of it. And they the live American pump houses live there.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. They're big old station. Nothing surprises me anymore, man. What I've the crazy, some of these crazy radios I've seen on the course of my career. These crazy amplifiers, and still guys are still moving up like nuts, man. I'm just amazed what's there and what's still available considering the cost of everything. But yeah, guys are still moving up.
I remember 3 years ago when I started being able to talk and hear out here, was that 50,000 watt water-cooled tube BB I had. And I heard him key down one night for a couple of minutes, and he smothered all them pump stations down in L.A.
Yeah, but that's more of a Mother Nature thing. He's got that 3CX 30,000 tube. Basically, the same tube he got there from Prime Minister. At least of what I heard. I don't know. I don't follow him. I don't, do much. But anyway, that's what I heard. So, and that certainly could do every bit of a 50,000 watt dead key. So you're talking, talking about an insane amount of power because to fully modulate that, you're looking at 200,000 watts plus peak. So, yeah, that's a whole different realm, man. That's an electric bill and a coaxial bill, and I could never comprehend, man, because if something goes south at that voltage level, oh man, I couldn't imagine, man. I couldn't imagine. I oversize everything I get. Everything I have, I try to oversize, and I always run it a lot less. And you're running something like that, man, the 3CX 30,000, man, just nuts. But I know guys that ran bigger than that, man. I've seen bigger than that. You know, I've seen it in the mobiles, you know. You know, it goes around. You know, people on the way up. I always try to catch the equipment on the, you know, when people are on the way up and when they're on the way down. That's the way you can get a good bargain.
.131, I like it when they're no longer want to do it anymore and they're just willing to get rid of it.
I got my first big AC box, man. I got that from Roto-Rooter, man. And he had so many problems. I don't know what the hell he was thinking, but you know, he was trying to run a 3CX 3000 A7 in a Jeep Wrangler, and he did. But man, he had so many problems, man. He was about a minute away from taking the whole contraption and throwing it into Shark River. So, I said, hey, I'll just take it off your hands, and he just flat out gave it to me.
Can't beat that at all.
Yeah, he had enough of that shit. You know, it gets crazy expensive, man. It does get crazy expensive. You know, and you know. It's like a once in a lifetime kind of deal. But I kind of ran into another one there too, so I'm taking full advantage of that one, which is almost as good. It's not quite free, but damn near close to that.
I couldn't imagine running a 200,000 watts. That's a little bit excess, and you better have the right kind of coax for that.
You're getting a hum in there right now. You know, something's going on here. A little hum going in with your audio. Yeah, that's 200,000 peaks. You run a 50,000 watts carrier, it fully modulates. You know, 50,000 times 4. It's 200,000 watts. So that's some serious. You know, I can't knock the guy. You got to be on a certain level of knowledge, and just to be able to run that without, or just to run it. I mean, you know, without breaking it. You know, obviously, you know, I'm sure he has, and I'm sure he's fixed it. You know, I think he's a little bombastic there. I'm not a big fan of his videos and everything else, but you know, it does seem like he kind of knows his shit, or at least knows the people who know their shit.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. I had my cell phone sitting by the mic, and it's like the cell phone is giving off some stuff, and the mic is picking it up. So I took the cell phone with.
That sounds much gooder.
Yeah, cell phones are something. Yeah, I do not think I'm going to be trying to put out 200,000 watts. Nowhere in the world. I'm going to start using Mother Nature and a few other tricks up my military sleeve to do my thing. That kind of power is beyond me.
Yeah, well, yeah, I picked up a couple things. Hopefully, maybe next year, you have a buddy come out there and drop it off. But yeah, I got a really good deal on a pretty decent, a decent sized box for the base. So I'm picking that up. So he's coming out here next year at some point there. So whenever the hell he does, just do that. And for my mobile, I just upgraded my whole station there. I got this insane box. It takes three 320 Least Neville alternators and combines it into one big DC power supply, which is kind of cool. Which is just a stupid overkill for a 3000, but it's going to be a lot of fun when I get my truck together.
So you're talking about at least about 50, about 25,000 coming out of the automobile?
You could. I got a video somewhere where this guy in New Jersey, he's handled with Shockwave, and it was back in the 90s, mid-90s, and he had beat up old Ford Econoline. And yeah, he used to go to all the key downs. He was, Dave made guy, all the key downs, and he was a real sharp guy. But yeah, he blew everybody away, man. I mean, I couldn't believe that you could do that kind of power out of a 3000, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't lie, man. He was doing over 20,000 watts, and saw a lot of guys doing a lot that with a 3000. Hell, I used to be able to get over 10 grand in mine. So, it does take quite a bit of abuse. But that being said, though, yeah, I wouldn't do it like that. I would just to keep the voltage consistent even when I'm driving down the road, because the problem is you got to mash the gas pedal all the time, and literally you watch your watt meter go up the harder you smash the gas pedal. And the cool thing about having a regulated power supply, a regulated high voltage power supply, is that you wouldn't have to do that, assuming you've got enough torque and your belts are tight enough and you got enough alternator. You theoretically could do it from when you're just driving around town.
Yeah, I only had a 2-pill in my vehicle back in Maryland, and that was good enough for me. I wanted to do a 4-pill, but a 2-pill was enough for me to get out around down south to the Blue Waters and coming over here to the West Coast. So I figured if I'm doing good with a 2-pill and a 102-inch stainless steel whip with an extension whip on it to get my SWRs flat for the whole 11-meter band, I don't need a 4-pill.
And 4. Yeah, well, they always say, 2 pills are good, 4 are better, and the 4 are good, 8 are better. So, and that's the way I, progressed. Yeah, I started with a little old Palomar, moved up to a 667, and then from there I went to an 8-pill, then to the 16, and eventually 32, which is just the dumbest thing I probably ever did in my whole life. That just retarded squared. Yeah, I think about an 8-pill. 8 to a 12-pill, man, is just about perfect for a daily driver, assuming you got the right alternator for it.
Yeah, that's also now 32 pill. That's overkill. I haven't seen 32 pills in action, and you better be ready for that. And my 2 pill, I'll get 800 out of it. Voting the hell out of it. Shit, it was good for about 5 years until I got tired of it and sold it off. But I'm pissed off that I did that, and I shouldn't have done it. But as you always say, when you get tired of it, you just go get the money, and that's how a lot of operators get good deals, and I learned from that.
Yeah, I never saw that kind of power out of a 2-pill. But we used to dick around with that. We used to buy the 2 pills, and it wasn't a big deal, man. We had a whole thing of 2 pills, and they burnt out. You just put a new one in, a couple of resistors, put it in, matched it up, and out she went. You always bought them in matched pairs or matched quads or whatever. And yeah, usually you got up to about 20 volts, and yeah, that's about it. The voltages keep up, but if you really looked at it on a spectrum analyzer, you did realize that most of the power, once you got above about 16 volts or so, it was just harmonics, all over the place. In fact, I had I still got it, dude. It's pretty cool. It's a 50,000 watt low pass filter, because I kept my house. I kept burning up low pass filters because the harmonics were just out of control in these things.
Oh, okay. Well, the 2-pill I had was X-Force, and he built it, and he said I could run it at 18 volts, and I was getting 800 out of it, and I didn't have a variable on it at all.
No, I used to always run it around 60. Well, I was kind of cheating there because I had, my 32 pill, I could never run it more than about 14 volts because I never had the amperage. If I start turning up the voltage on the regulator, one of 2 things happen. Well, first you slip the belts, but once you figure out how to run the belts and get a 3/4 wrap and all that shit, and you tighten it up tight enough where it won't slip, then that's when you start either breaking things or the alternators themselves just lock up. You can't handle it no more.
Oh, I put all new wiring in it in the vehicle I had. I took the AM FM cassette out and put new wiring in it and did what I had to do. And I was getting 800 consistent out of it. People that I was talking to back then, they hated me because I was busting up on base stations.
Well, right, Joe. That's something else. So if they get 800 watts out of a tube pill, that couldn't be a 2879.
Yes, it was. The Sheba 2879s, not red dots, but the Sheba 2879s. I shouldn't have got rid of it, but I did.
I would venture to guess if you actually put it on a spectrum analyzer, you'd probably see 3/4 of that was harmonics. Yeah, you get to the point of just where it just falls apart. But yeah, 16 volts wasn't bad. And later on, what I ended up doing, I used to I had one alternator that always put 16 and a half volts. Yeah, that fed the filament for the 3000, and it got divided down for the 6 volts or whatever. But the box itself took 16 and a half volts, and 15 and a half volts. That's what it was, 15 and a half volts, and that got divided down at the box for the filament. But yeah, I just used to run the driver off of that because with the 320, it was like 90 amps on the for the box, and for the driver, it was probably like another 200-300 amps, and it was just fine, man. The thing didn't mind it at all. And 15 and a half volts wasn't bad. I don't know I'd do that in the future, though, man. After, later on I learned more and more about the harmonics and how things really do work. I'd probably leave everything 13 and a half, maybe 14 volts the most.
Well, you don't find too many people going 15, 16, up to 22. They hover around about 14, maybe 15.1, or maybe 14.6, but going up to 18, man, I'll push the limit myself.
Yeah, well, that's when I first put all the batteries in my truck. That's what we had. I had scrubber batteries, the 6-volt scrubber batteries, and I started off with shitload, and the damn things were like 200 pounds. They're crazy. So I had custom made from Lee batteries, these scrubber batteries, and we were running at 12 volts, and I had the brilliant idea, well, 12 is good, let's get another 6. So we, brought it up, to 18 volts, put another in series. And, yeah, it was kicking ass, but couldn't quite understand why I kept burning shit up. Well, I knew why, but, later on I learned out, it's one thing to experience it. It's another thing to find out why it really happened. And, it's just to get over that point. And there's a term for it, but since I'm an idiot, I don't know what it is. But there's actually a term for it. Once it gets over a certain voltage, it just, it's kind of like over-modulating, man. Your output may go up, but maybe not going up where you think it is.
Yeah, Roger, all right. So I don't want to stay in here too doggone long. There might be other people out there who want to holler at you and whatnot. And I just started a new doggone movie flick called Detective Night Road. It's that actor's name? I forgot his name. He just retired. He had some kind of medical condition. He used to be married to Demi Moore, and he just retired last year.
10-4. Well, enjoy the movie there. Yeah, I'm going to shut up for a while. Maybe somebody else wants to break in there. And, I'll give myself another Diet Coke. I'm going to have to go out for a drive there, pick up my son in about an hour. But, do a pause for the cause, man. Anybody else wants to break into this mess? You're on 27-185 here, Friday night. All right, bud. maybe get out here in a couple minutes, take a pause for the cause there. See if we can wake people up if nobody dives in. Catch you in a bit. 131. Back quiet.
Hey, before you go, let me get a quick recording on that recording apparatus you got there. Let me see how she's sounding there, right?
Hit the whole thing on YouTube, because the whole thing is just, I'm just going to stick it up. I mean, it's recording in real time, but you could always rewind it, and like I said, it always is going to be up there, so you can always hear it. But yeah, I got this working too. So start talking, and I'll start recording. Let's roll the Watergate.
Yeah, cool, Roger, on that. Well, I'm going to get out there and check it out, what you said on YouTube, Mustang 131, down in old Mojave. Down there around your stack of the bricks, so 233 Maverick up here, this wire antenna called a 2-element Zeppelin is right back, baby.
All right, this is what I got.
Roger on that. Well, I'm going to get out there and check it out, what you said on YouTube, Mustang 131, down in old Mojave. Down there around your stack of the bricks, so 233 Maverick up here, this wire antenna called a 2-element Zeppelin is right back, baby.
And that's what I got.
That sounds damn good, man. Perfect audio, not that much echo, and everything is really good.
What I call armchair copy. Easy on the eardrums. All right, bud, get to your movie, and I'll see what rolls here on the band. 73.
I'll be right back, 73.
Cricket, cricket, cricket.
I'm getting a Diet Coke. I'll be back.
I heard somebody say cricket. Who's that?
There he goes.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, Bruce Willis. I think this might be his last movie. That's the name of the actor. Bruce Willis. Detective Night Rogue. Bruce Willis.
That a Wolfman?
Yeah, I haven't heard him out here tonight there, Roger.
small borough near Pittsburgh, and 1 term as lieutenant governor. You're running for a seat that could decide the balance of power in Washington. What qualifies you to be a U.S. Senator? You have 60 seconds.
Hi. Good night, everybody.
Fucking kidding me?
What? I heard that line, I damn near fell to the floor.
Usually I'm hearing guys down on Riverside jibber-jabbing. They've been taking a break for a while. Usually down on Riverside, they were down there cussing each other out and all kinds of stuff. They haven't been doing that for the last 2 months.
Yeah, it all goes in waves. Yeah, give them some time. They'll find their way back to the radio.
Yeah, roger that.
I'm surprised there's not more people out here now. It can kind of cold out here, and get a little colder out. It's more conducive to talking on a radio.
Oh, it was last Friday night and Saturday night. It was very lively out here last week.
People are sleeping. Wake up, wake up.
Everybody come back in the wintertime, so it never fails.